Donald Trump recently traveled to South Carolina to stump for Senator Lindsey Graham's sister, Darlene Graham. A modern political rally is engineered to be a fortress of optics. Campaigns tightly control the physical environment to project an overwhelming sense of momentum and absolute dominance. But this event lacked that foundational element. Wide shots of the venue revealed an unusually sparse turnout, fracturing the expected visual of an unstoppable political force. The small crowd size wasn't the only stressor. Attendees began vocally heckling him, with one audience member flashing a middle finger directly at the stage. A brand built on projecting unshakable strength requires an environment that validates it. In this room, the physical void and localized hostility shattered the standard campaign script, leaving the speaker scrambling for a new narrative. Instead of pivoting back to standard campaign rhetoric to regain the crowd, Trump turned inward. He abandoned his political arguments and began broadcasting his deep personal vulnerabilities. Out of nowhere, he launched into a tangent about his mounting legal pressures, complaining to the small audience that he was going to be impeached and openly predicting that he would, quote, lose everything. Then came a jarring rhetorical left turn. In a direct reaction to the hostile room, he began a highly defensive monologue detailing his personal hygiene. He assured the crowd that he was a very clean person who likes to wash his hands, noting he, quote, doesn't like paper on the ground. This immediate shift to detailing his hand-washing habits and legal victimhood exposes a specific reflex. When the external projection of dominance is punctured by a heckler, the instinct is to overcompensate by demanding validation for highly granular, personal grievances. Realizing the speech was spiraling, Trump attempted to re-establish his political authority. But as he reached for policy points to project strength, his claims detached completely from reality. This chart maps standard inflation rates against the specific claims made on stage. He declared that historical inflation was already, quote, solved, with the line plummeting to zero, as he told the audience that affordability was simply no longer an issue. Looking directly at consumer goods pricing data, he claimed that because of unnamed foreign interventions he orchestrated, the price of foreign beef was dropping rapidly and undercutting American ranchers. The domestic economic fictions then bled into foreign policy. He began recounting military strategies in the Middle East, a region defined by deeply complex diplomatic boundaries and international waters. He then made an impossible geographical assertion, stating outright that the United States now views the Strait of Hormuz, a crucial maritime choke point between the Persian Gulf and the Gulf of Oman, as, quote, American territory. Under the intense stress of a failing rally, his platform completely dissolved. Ideological goals were replaced by absolute, easily disprovable impossibilities designed to forcefully project the dominance he was losing in the room. By the final stretch of the event, any remaining semblance of a cohesive structure collapsed into a rapid-fire sequence of completely unconnected statements. He made a bizarre, medically impossible claim, insisting that hospitals across the country were now performing, quote, reverse transgender surgeries, and that they were doing so specifically at his direct command. He then gave the audience severe tonal whiplash by pivoting to cultural anecdotes. He casually asked the crowd if they wanted him to, quote, bomb Iran a little bit more, before abruptly resurrecting a nearly decade-old grievance to complain at length about Hillary Clinton, calling his supporters deplorable. A single 20-minute span featured non-existent surgical mandates, boasts about wedding playlists, casual jokes about war crimes, and bitter rehashing of 2016. It was a total detachment from any recognizable political narrative. Evaluating the event as a whole reveals a live-action breakdown of a political echo chamber, far removed from any traditional effort at persuasion. Yet beneath the scattered tangents and the complaints about paper on the ground, the core rhetoric remained deeply aggressive. He explicitly framed his political opponents as radical communists who must be permanently eradicated from the country. He warned the sparse crowd that the Second Amendment was constantly, quote, under siege, painting an apocalyptic worldview of a nation on the brink of absolute destruction. A political movement deploying world-ending, apocalyptic rhetoric found itself speaking into a mostly empty room, led by a speaker increasingly consumed by his own personal grievances.